Welcome back. I'm author J. Allen Tucker, the author of Sylas Sterling and the Lucas County Curse, Sylas Sterling, Season of the Shroud, and then an upcoming novel that will be released soon. I'm here today to attempt a little bit of narration. I bought a new microphone and thought I would check it out and see how it sounds for the first little bit of my book from a few years back. This was released February 2021. Crazy enough 5 years ago, which is insanity. But here we go with the prologue of Sylas Sterling and the Lucas County Curse. Silas's room, Sunday, October 24th, 1993, the Sterling home, Lucas County, Georgia. Sylas Sterling looked at an empty page. It seemed to him the white space was yelling at him, and he was unable to put anything on it to silence it. He could not think of anything that he wanted to draw. There was no inspiration for a sketch, a doodle, or anything else. Sylas had one of his favorite bands, Counting Crows, playing in the background. Omaha was finishing, and Mr. Jones was about to start. He looked at the walls of his bedroom and hoped to be inspired. On one wall there was a Michael Jordan poster. On another wall there were some Atlanta Braves memorabilia, including a pennant and a couple of baseball caps and ticket stubs. On the adjacent wall, he saw the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and Ghostbusters 2 movie posters. Sylas had gotten the Indiana Jones poster from the local videotape rental store that his friend's father owned. The Ghostbusters 2 poster was from Columbia Pictures. When he was 11, Sylas wrote a letter to Columbia Pictures. He got their address off the back cover of his family's VHS copy of Ghostbusters. He wrote about how much he loved Ghostbusters, and he asked for an autographed photo. He did not get an autograph, but he did receive 2 packages several weeks later. One included a press kit for Ghostbusters 2 that had several 8x10 black and white photos and some information about the movie. The second package was a long cylindrical tube with an official Ghostbusters 2 movie poster. It was one of his prized possessions. In the last 4 years, he had never removed the poster from the wall. Sylas had many fond memories of the summer when those movies were released. He was watching Entertainment Tonight to get the latest news, and he got his mom to buy him lots of movie magazines. He had drawn the Ghostbusters many times over the years. He considered drawing Peter or Ray, but he decided against it. He thought to himself, I have to find a new way of doing things. I need a new direction. Where could I learn new things? How could I improve my lot in life? He glanced over and saw a copy of Nintendo Power. Yoda was staring back at him, but he did not feel like doing another Star Wars drawing, at least not right now. He thought about flipping through the pages again, but he did not think he would find any inspiration there. Sylas closed his sketchbook and set it aside. He opened his notebook and started writing about his lack of creativity. It felt nice for him to express his thoughts regarding the lack of inspiration and direction. As the night progressed, he wrote a few angst-ridden poems. Most of his poems were about being lonely or dealing with despair. He did not want anyone to see his poems, but he still wrote them. He closed his notebook and stared at the sketch pad once again. He still had the desire to draw, but he still did not have any ideas. He wondered where he could find a book about comic book art, but he was not sure that one even existed. He considered reaching under the bed and getting his suitcase of comics. He could find an old issue of Transformers or G.I. Joe and draw one of his favorite childhood heroes, or he could draw something from his new X-Men 2099 comic that he bought a few days ago at the Zippy Mart. He wanted to learn and improve, but his discipline was lacking. He often thought, if only I had a time machine like Bill and Ted, I could learn from the greats like Jack Kirby. If I had some extra money, maybe I could find a way to meet Stan Lee. He took his sketchbook down the hallway into the living room. The 25-inch Sony TV was the centerpiece of the room. His Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis were connected to the TV. He thought about playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or Super Mario World again, but he decided to just veg on the couch instead. Sylas was feeling pessimistic about the future. He reflected on his life. He was thinking a familiar set of thoughts. I'm certainly not going to be a comic book artist living in South Georgia, going to Lucas County High School art class. He loved his teacher, Mr. Creed, but he knew his teacher was not going to get him a job at Marvel or DC. Sylas flipped through a couple of pages over in his sketchbook. He stopped on his Jurassic Park drawing. When he had the opportunity to draw something of his choosing, as one of his first art assignments of this school year, he chose the Jurassic Park logo. Mr. Creed had liked the drawing when Sylas showed it to him. Jurassic Park was Silas's favorite movie from this year. He loved the surround sound at the new theater in a nearby town. He thought that the dinosaurs were so realistic in that movie, he had liked the special effects even more than Terminator 2 or The Abyss. Sylas was inspired by movies, but for some reason he did not want to make movies. He wanted to make a comic or a cartoon. He wanted to create something, but on this evening, before he could create a masterpiece, he fell asleep, as he did pretty much every night. He had a strange dream. He was alone in the middle of the night. It was dark and cold. When he woke up, he tried to recall some of the details of the dream, but it was the kind of dream that seemed to be instantly forgotten. He thought about the dream for just a little while, but he quickly fell asleep again. This has been a reading from Sylas Sterling and the Lucas County Curse by author J. Allen Tucker. If you'd like to hear more, let me know down in the comments. Do all the YouTube stuff. If I get some comments and feedback and there is more interest, I will continue. So thanks so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you next time. Peace.